Hey guys, Jimmy, and today on Roblox we're playing some more Loomian Legacy, as you can see on the screen right now. As you can tell by the title, obviously, I'm going to be talking about RNG in this game. The reason why is because I usually get a lot of people that come into my stream and ask, how come I specifically haven't found a rare Loomian yet? So that could be Gleaming, that could be a legendary, the new Ragoon for example, that's a popular one right now. But I usually get asked, I have done a ton of encounters and I haven't gotten it yet. And some people will give me that I've done 5,000 encounters and I haven't gotten this thing yet. I don't think you've counted to 5,000, but that's really unlucky. So obviously, I'm going to be using the Santa Ragoon as a good example here. But basically, if you don't know what RNG is, it's a random number generator. That's basically how all the things work. So if you roll a dice, you might get a 6. So there's that. So also on a 6-sided dice, you have a 1 in 6 chance to roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So obviously, but at the same time, if you roll the dice 6 times, you're not guaranteed to get a 6. You have a chance to get a 6, but you might roll a 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3 for all of your rolls. You're not guaranteed to get that specific number. And the same works for Loomian Legacy. And a lot of other games that rely on RNG, like Pokemon for shinies, for secret abilities. Well, not for secret abilities in Pokemon, usually in this game it does. So I wanted to talk about it, to explain it, and why people obviously, like I said, Ragoon, I can actually tell you now, has a encounter chance or an encounter odds of 1 in 1,000. Now you might think about that and go, oh, I've done 1,000 encounters, why haven't I found it yet? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. So I have a quick example to show you. So also, like I said, we've done a little bit of testing. So the quickest that you can actually do this is that every minute you can encounter 5 Loomians if you smash the run button. This definitely helps if you're... I don't think it really matters if your Loomian's Gleaming, but what does matter and what speeds up a lot is make sure that you have an ability that doesn't pop up. So for example, if you have the boast ability, and it'll take you a little bit longer, so like a couple of seconds at max, for the boast ability to pop up before you can click run. So I would avoid using lows and just try and stick to the ones that don't have any pop-ups to maximize your encounters, obviously. So you can do 5 encounters a minute, which comes to like 300 encounters an hour. So theoretically, you should be able to get a Ragoon every 3.5 hours if you get it exactly on odds. But that's not how, like I said, that's not how RNG works. So then, I have a random number generator brought up on Google. So then, basically how this works is, let's put in 1 to 1,000. So, well, that's 100. So let's put in 1 to 1,000. I am only, so 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 999 are all Twilight, Twilight, Cafno, male, female, Kabonga, and I think that's and Gobidemic is in this route. So 1 to 99 is all of those Loomians, okay? There could be some Gleamings in there, but we're going for the Ragoon. So if we roll 1,000, or if we get 1,000 when we click generate, that is the time, or that one encounter is our Ragoon. So if I click it, oh, it's close, but because it's not exactly 1,000, it needs to be 1,000. It's not what I need, so I gotta keep clicking. I could be here for 1,000 clicks. I could get it in 10 clicks if I'm really lucky. That's, again, RNG. I could get it in 10. I could get it in 10,000s. Also, if you look at like a lot of Pokemon Shiny Hunters, I'll use A-Drive as a good example. Some of his shinies, he's gotten in like 10 encounters of like hatching eggs, which is like just like 1 in 400 chance. And then in some, he's gone 1 in 1,000, which is like 2.5 times over the odds. That's basically how RNG works. You're not guaranteed to get something on that specific 1,000th encounter. And it gets even tricky when you incorporate people are trying to find Gleaming versions of the Ragoon. So in that sense, we have 2 number generators then. So we have 1,000 for the Ragoon, but then we have to incorporate another one, which also is 64, so 1 to 64. So the reason why I'm using 64 is because if you have the Game Pass and the raw power on, it's 1 in 64 Gleaming chance, and then this is the encounter chance. So even if you, so let's say, okay, you click it, you click it, you click it, I eventually get that 1000 exactly, so that means I found a Ragoon. Now we go to our second random number generator. I gotta click this now, so between 1 and 63 are the normal Santa Ragoons. And now I gotta try and roll a 64 to try and get it to shiner. So if I click it, I got 62. Close again. But because it's not 64, I didn't roll a Gleaming chance. So I gotta keep going. But that's the thing though, you don't go on this one now. You have to go back to the first one. Because also, that Ragoon that we just found was a normal Ragoon. Now we're gonna keep going until we get another one. Oh, I found another one pretty quick now. Back to my Gleaming roll. Oh, looks like we didn't get it again. That's basically how RNG works. The simplest ways to show, or to explain it, is basically, imagine that you have a 1000-sided die, or dice, depending on where you're from. So, you're rolling a dice. You're trying to roll, again, for that 1000. Between 1 and 999 are just normal, that's everything but a Ragoon. That's stuff that you don't want. You just need to land at 1000. If you get that 1000 roll on your dice through, you are going to get that Ragoon. Again, it could take you 5 tries. It could take you 100,000 tries if your RNG is just unlucky. That's basically all that RNG is luck. Sometimes it's really good. Other times it's really bad. And I can actually show you like some bad RNGs because also it took me a long time for this, so when the PC loads, a good example of it is actually my Halloween. So if you didn't know, the Halloween Sluglings and the Sorches both had a 1 in 64 Gleaming chance. And if you count them all also, so we've got like 30, 27, 30, and then, as you can tell, more than 64. And you know what I didn't get? I didn't get a Gleaming one. I have them now, but I had to trade for them. So that's like, I got bad on my RNG. I actually got more than them. I probably got somewhere around almost 90. I think I almost filled up these 3 boxes, to be honest, but I gave some away and I traded some. So that's like that's bad RNG. So far, if I go to my Ragoon box right now, I've caught 5 Ragoons. So I could get it in the next, I could get my Gleaming one in the next Ragoon. I could get it on my 90th Ragoon, which would kind of suck because they're really rare. So basically how RNG works. Another example of something a little bit more common that a lot of people like to go for right now is Gleaming Roamers, so Ikazune and Dusket. So obviously, when we bring up like Gleaming Dusket and Gleaming Ikazune, usually people will like say, oh, the chance of you getting that is 1 in 16,000. So you would think to like put it in here. But it's actually not like, it's not actually like that. We'd have to do the same thing that we just did with the Ragoon. So we'd have to put down in here 125 if you have the Game Pass and the raw power for roamers going. You have a 125 chance to roll your Ikazune. Then we got to go to our second random number generator and put in 128 again. That this includes the Gleaming Game Pass and the Gleaming raw power to be active. So same again. Now we're going to generate, and 1 to 124 is everything but a Dusket or a Ikazune. It's all of the normal encounters that you're going to find. So let's just say, okay, I click it, it takes me 10 tries. Oh, I got 125. Now we're going to go to our chance to roll a Gleaming. If it's 1 to 127, it's only a normal Dusket or Ikazune. If we roll that 128, which it isn't, then we got the normal one. But if we did roll that 128, it would be the Gleaming. That's typically how RNG works. I've had a few people on my stream actually go ahead and actually just test this with like 1 in 1,000. Some people said that they go in 5 minutes, and then some people towards the end of the stream said that they'd been doing it for the entire stream, a few hours, and they didn't hit it once. That's basically how RNG works. Some people have really good RNG. A good example is that is actually Classical Native, or Classic Native. I keep calling him Classical, I don't know why, but Classic Native. I'll leave his channel links in the description if you want to go sub to him. He streams a lot of Loomian Legacy, like Gleam Hunting. And yeah, the reason why I bring him up is because, for example, I showed you that I have 5 Santa Ragoons. Some of them are alright, like a couple of pure nimble ones, which is like hay. pretty good. I got most of them in different low. I have 5 of them, and it took me quite a while to get them. Classic Native, on the first night, or the first day of these Santa Dragoons being released out, in 12 minutes, he did maybe like 100 encounters, 250 encounters like max. In 12 minutes, he got a Gleaming Ikazune in 12 minutes. In the same stream, a couple hours later, maybe 2-3 hours later, if that, he got a Gleaming Santa Dragoon, and that was his second Santa Dragoon, so he got really, really lucky. Again, that's basically how RNG works. You could get very, very lucky one time, and it could be really, really unlucky the other time. And another friend that I'm going to actually bring up is Blue Fire Mochi. Right now, she has bred or rallied completely over 2,000. It might be a little bit less, but I'm pretty sure this has told me that she has rallied more or less around 2,000 Weevaults with the Gleaming charm and the Gleaming Row power and the Rally Row power on as well. She has rallied over 2,000, and she has not gotten a single Gleaming Weevault, although she's had 7 or 8 secret ability Weevaults. That's just how RNG works. You might get very, very lucky, which Blue has got very lucky in a lot of her Gleamings. Although, as you can tell now, it's having the opposite effect on her. It's one of her longest dry streaks, which also really sucks. So that's basically how it works. And another actually good example is my Snow Cubs. Right now in the rally, once we can actually check it and it's got a Gleaming one in it, that'd be so funny. I have probably bred around maybe like 700 Snow Cubs so far. I don't have them all on my PC, I've only got like these because they're meh, all of the rest of them. So basically, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I have 6 Snow Cubs here. They are all secret abilities, and I have not gotten a single Gleaming one yet. But that's in 700. Blue's Fire's done 2,000 and only had like 8. So I've almost caught up to her on the secret abilities, although notice I've gotten a Gleaming one yet. So that's basically how RNG works, and that is why you haven't gotten something rare yet. Like I said, you have to put in a lot of time to get these rare things, especially if you're not using the boosts. If you don't have like Gleaming, well, for example, if you don't have anything to do with like Gleaming Game Pass or the boosts on, your odds of getting a Gleaming is 1 in 4,096 or something like that, which is freaking rare. Freaking rare. That's 4 times rarer, more than 4 times rarer than a Santa Dragoon. If you're having trouble finding a Santa Dragoon and you're confused on why you haven't got a Gleaming yet, Gleamings are 4 times rarer, more than 4 times rarer, if you have no boosts for them. Same for Roamers, Legendaries, Dusky and Ikazune. They're not as rare as that. If you haven't got the Game Pass on the boost active for the Legendaries, they're only 1 in 1,000, which is the exact same as Dragoon. My suggestion is that if you are wanting to hunt for these a lot, stick to one route, don't go hunting too much. What I do right now with this event is I go for the boxes only on Route 6. I'm trying to like optimize, I'm like trying to make the best optimization to like spend the least amount of tokens and least amount of time going for my Gleamings. This is what I usually do, so especially during this event, I only go for gifts that are on Route 6 right now because also I'm hunting for the Dragoon. I don't want to spend 5 minutes running across the entire map when I could have put that into hunting for the Dragoon. So you have to be very smart and optimize your... I almost spilled my water everywhere. That would have really sucked. You have to optimize like what you do. So also what I do is, especially as well, is I will bring this up really quickly. I use a pure nimble Dusky even though it's fainted. Harmonize has a 50% chance. Every wild encounter I find will give me a 50% chance for that wild Loomian to be pure nimble as well, which is why I have a couple of pure nimble Dragoons. And then what I do is I also rally at the same time. Again, I actually think my boost just ran out. I rally at the same time to try and get a Gleaming. Right now I'm going for the starters Gleaming. I only go for these if they're on Route 6. And then all I do now is I run in circles with my arrow keys in Route 6. And if it's not Gleaming or Legendary or Santa Dragoon, some of them you can tell are secret abilities, but also most of you probably won't have the secret ability game pass, so you only can get secret abilities through the rallying. And this is all I do. I basically just mash the run button. I want to get out of that battle as quickly as possible. If it isn't a Santa Dragoon, a Gleaming, or a Legendary, I don't care about it, obviously, so I'm going to run away from it and try and keep going for another one. So that's basically why... Oh, that's basically what I want to talk about in this video, and to explain to people why you haven't got anything rare yet. I have been doing this for a long time, also, like gleam hunting, and in total, I have gotten more than 200 Duskits and more than 200 Ikazunes now. I'm not exactly too sure how many I've gotten, but I've gotten way many than 200. Also, a good example of that is because I have a Gleaming Duskit. It took me a long time to get this thing. I still don't have the Ikazune, but also I gave away like 100 and something Duskits like away at like one specific time. And also right now, because I'm going for the Santa Dragoon, I'm going to get another lot of them. As you can see, I have half a PC box filled with legendaries, and then almost half a PC box of Gleaming. So that's why you're not finding anything. So you have to optimize your time if you want to try and get them the quickest, which is why I suggest, if you're hunting for something specifically in the wild, like a Dusket for example, just click run if it's not what you want. Like I said, I'm only looking for Santa Dragoon. I don't really care about Gleamings, I don't really care about Legendaries. I only catch them to like really give them away. If I really wanted to optimize my time, I would just run, but yeah, that's basically what you do. You just want to run away and also optimize as much time as you can, so you can actually get more encounters in per your boost, or also if you're using them. So there's that. But I wanted to just quickly point that out in the video because I know a lot of people like complain and like ask me, how come I've done like 5,000 and so encounters but I haven't gotten one yet? That's just how RNG works. Like I said, you could get very lucky one time and just get it in 5 encounters, and then the next time it could take you 10,000. Actually, I completely forgot about this as well. A really good example is my Duskit. Like I said, it took me more than 200 Duskits to actually get it. Probably about, it's like somewhere between 170-ish to 200 I got it in, maybe even more than that. I did a stream where I was going to say Duskit 100,000 times. I know it was very dumb and my internet cut out, so I didn't end up doing it. Even though I had like 18 hours worth of boosts on. So I thought, okay, I'll just call it quits then. I hopped on later that night, the same day later that night, into a VIP server. I did one encounter and I got it in a call when I was in the call with the other developers, and I freaked out because I wasn't expecting it. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna leave off there. This video is a little bit long, but I just wanted to quickly, I guess like not really a rant, but just an explanation video. So hopefully that clears up a little bit for some people. Like I said, it can be a little bit confusing, but just imagine yourself like rolling a dice that's 1,000-sided. I don't think those exist, but just imagine it. And also you're trying to land on that 1,000. Every little number isn't what you're looking for. It's basically the best way to explain it really. But hey, hopefully it helps, and I'll see you guys next time.